Why did I have to hurt her, man? Why? I only ever wanted to see her succeed. Men harass should have been the last thing we allowed to become VTubers. Welcome to the internet. The only time I have ever suffered as much in any other form of media was edge runners, and saying that I suffered wasn't enough. Both of them ended up hurting me where it hurts the most, and they both twisted the knife in deep. I only ever wanted a happy ending. Was I asking too much? According to the authors of Needy Streamer and Edge Runners, I guess I was. How could a visual novel ruin me so? I don't know, but the Japanese sure love to make me feel bad. I could have stopped playing the game, I know, and that is what I did at first, but I don't know what came over me. I guess I wanted to find out the rest of the story, so I went back in. I wanted to experience it. At first, I couldn't even hurt Ame, but after a while it became second nature, and I felt like shit every time I did it. Why'd I have to drag her? Why'd I have to be shit towards her, ruin her own self-esteem? Why'd I have to be a scumbag towards the person I was trying to make successful? Putting her on a pedestal isn't ideal either. It's why you or I treat her like a normal person, but we all know those endings don't end up well. Don't love her enough, even though you're helping her, she leaves. Love her too much, she goes crazy. There is no right choice. But that is what makes this game as endearing as it is. At first you want the best for her, and you try to push her towards her goals. But what if you didn't? Let's be fair, we all have had those types of feelings and ideas about other people, so instead of actually putting them into action, we'll do them in-game. What's the worst that can happen? We're not hurting anyone after all. Oh, if only we knew from the start what we were getting ourselves into. Through all the emotions and feelings the game has put me through, I only have praise for it. I don't think I've ever seen a better portrayal of internet culture anywhere, really. From portraying the 4chan VT board perfectly to recreating a streamer's chat exactly how it is in real life too. Developers must have been terminally online just like us. There's no way any sane person would have made this game after all. The personality, the raw emotion the whole game exudes is out of this world. All the choices we are given to make those emotions happen, it's truly something. The game deserves all the laurels it gets, but just like Ame herself, praise isn't the only thing that it gets from people on the internet. The game has its fair share of hate, mostly because it can be interpreted as glorifying to a certain extent. Self-harm, drug use, emotional abuse, and that's just the top of the iceberg really. All of those themes that are presented in the game are put quite well into form, and the fact that we are being shown the bad about them is the best part about it. Sure, we shouldn't be showing such themes to children, but what is a child doing playing a game about a girl with a rather extreme need for approval attempting to become the #1 internet angel? And I took that one out straight from the Steam description, by the way. Anyway, enough about the bad stuff. Let's talk about the real meat of this pie, the art direction. Holy fucking shit. I know I talked about Vaporwave in my previous video and how that was for sure an inspiration, but I'm pretty sure it applies here perfectly, if so even better than in Critters for Sale, I'd say. The PC-19 aesthetic is front and center, the operating system is dated, the vivid colors, the way Ame's room is decorated, all of it. It just screams the early 90s. If the game looked just a bit more dated, I would have put it off as a re-release of an older Galge. Mac Tonight would be proud. The music is also mental. Ayoban is a fucking legend for making this and everything else he has done really. Going from Monster Cat to this, only the utmost respect for him. It's actually a crazy fucking bop. I think all of us have unironically listened to the OST without the game. It adds so much, you wouldn't even realize it. The slow rise in tempo, the more Ame gets stressed, the way it turns darker with, well, her mental darkness. All of it combines into a... I got no word for it actually. Maybe peak? Yeah, peak is good. It combines into peak. The OST is great, the game is elevated by it for sure. The whole package in itself keeps supporting each other into making one hell of a game I wouldn't recommend to someone that is repressed. The pixel art is also stunning. I've always been a fan of pixel art and you can for sure see the influence from other classic games in there. I love all the faces that Ame makes, the emotion can be fully seen in them, and they're also adorable. Same goes with the CG for the game. It ranges from funny to straight up beautiful. If I'd have to choose one as my favorite, it would probably be the Ferris wheel one, or actually no, it's Piccolo. It's the one where she dresses as Piccolo, that's my favorite one. To tie all of this together, I'd like to say that the game reached a point that most others can't usually reach, from having a manga adaptation and an anthology made for the game, to multiple songs that ended up blowing in the VTuber corner, which unironically ends up popularizing hardstyle to that community to an extent, I'd say, to having literal merchandise made where other games can barely get a garage kit out. Needy streamer overloads, shock factor, and cute aesthetics did exactly what I believe the developers intended. Tell a story about the struggle one has with themselves and the internet, and then market it to those exact same people with great success. I'm honestly impressed with how well it all took off, especially since there is this whole ongoing meme of every Needy streamer fan knowing everything about the game, owning multiple pieces of merchandise yet never playing the game. If this wouldn't have come out at the time it did, I believe it would have lived on as maybe a classic within the visual novel community. But with the way it literally marketed itself and when it released, it was able to reach greater heights, and I'm happy to have thrown money at the devs. They knew how to get me and everyone else. We all love mentally ill, terminally online women, after all. I think that's all I have to say about the game, really. It's very good, quite cheap, and worth anyone's time to play, but unless you're of strong stomach, I wouldn't suggest playing it. Intentionally ruining someone is hard, believe me. If you'd still want to interact with the game, go and watch someone else ruin her. It's very meta to do, but at least you're not doing it yourself, you know? Or just, I don't know, go buy merch that works too. Yeah, no, that's it. End of video. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever else those YouTubers say. Bless.